We have a tie ball game going into the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 5-5. Florida State and Miami battling in a dandy at Dick Howser Stadium. And public address announcer Nick Menikoff has just made the announcement that this will be the final half inning of the ball game in order to enable the Hurricanes to make their flight arrangements. So it's tied up at 5-5. And we've got one more half inning to go.
Well, it's very clear right now. The Seminoles can score and win the game, or it's going to finish in a 5-5 tie. That'll send us scrambling into the record books to see if there's ever been a tie in this series. There are some ties in college baseball. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Ronan. Mark Ronan leading it off for Florida State in the bottom of the 8th inning. The bottom of the last inning. Ball 3.
There have been no ties, Wayne. 76-56 is the series record.
Strike called. It's 3-1.
Tie's not new to the Hurricanes, though. In Ron Frazier's tenure, this is 26th season. There have been 8 ties the Hurricanes have been involved in.
The leadoff runner is on for Florida State, and there's your winning run at first base. Knudsen walks Ronan, and we go to the top of the order, and Alicea coming to the plate. Well, it couldn't be any better set up as far as where they are in the order, because your 9th hitter just got on. Now you've got Alicea, Keller, and Blackwell. 2 up for the Seminoles. Nobody out, winning run at first. Bottom of the last inning. Outside for a ball, it's 1-0. Knudsen with a 4-1 record. Way outside. That's not even close. It's 2-0. The new catcher is Hirsch, by the way, for Miami. Dominguez was lifted for a pinch hitter. So you've got Hirsch behind the plate. You've got Henry Hernandez at first base. Jose Trujillo is the new second baseman. Rest of the ball club stays the same. Robles at short, Word at third. Fiore, Vieira, and Noriega around the outfield. Winning run at first. They throw to first. And I'll tell you what, they had Ronan leaning, but the throw was off the mark.
Hernandez did a good job of getting the glove on it, hanging on to it. Would have been off the fence and rolling out toward right field.
The throw had been on the bag, I believe. Ronan would have been picked off. He was leaning over there. Alicea is 0 for 3. He's not bunting, and that's ball 3.
Well, Nugent's going to get himself in a big jam here in a hurry, unless he can start throwing strikes.
Well, he's walked 12 batters coming into this game in 38 innings. Strike call.
Took a little off of it, the automatic, as Alicea was taking all the way. And he got the outside corner. Pretty good pitch.
The 3-1. Strike 2. Miami's got a bunch of guys throwing down by their down by their dugout, not even down in the pen. One of them is Joe Gray.
Boy, he handcuffed the Seminoles Friday night, didn't he?
The 3-2 fouled away by Alicea.
Pitch appeared to be a little outside, but Alicea wasn't taking any chances. He would have hit, defended the plate and swung at it. Got a piece of it.
We're due another payoff pitch to Alicea. Inside, he walked him, and the Rangers are at first and second with nobody out.
And you got Blackwell, and you wonder if Mike Martin may have the sacrifice bunt on. Blackwell's fundamentally sound in all areas of the game, and when it comes to laying a bunt down, it very easily could be the sign right now as Mike Martin's going to talk to both Barry Blackwell
Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you.
And Brad Parker, who will be on deck. Clyde Keller, rather. Keller's the next batter. Blackwell, the man on deck, and then Parker will be in the hole.
Also, don't forget to look for the big concession.
Well, there's a big confab on the mound right now between Brad Kelly and his entire infield. Pitcher Kurt Knudsen is the guy who's on the spot right now. He has walked the first two batters of the bottom of the 8th. If you just joined us, it's 5-5, and we are in the very last inning. If Florida State does not score, the game will end in a tie.
Long discussion, and Jerry Whitmore, the plate umpire, is going to walk out to the mound. As he gets there, the huddle breaks up. Brad Kelly is going to walk back into the dugout, and the Hurricanes are ready to go. Had to set the defensive assignments now. They fully anticipate a bunt try by Clyde Keller.
Well, Ronan's the winning run out at second base. Keller's the hitter. Blackwell up next, and I have to agree, it looks like a perfect bunt situation here. You want to try to make the third baseman handle the ball. That's ball one. Not even close. I tell you what, Knudsen is missing, and he's not really even close right now. Keller waiting on the 1-0 pitch. He squares. This one gets away, and the runners move up 90 feet.
Well, the Seminoles have the winning run at third base after a wild pitch by Kurt Knudsen. That one hit in front of the plate, and Hirsch could not handle it.
Well, I tell you what, that pitch is way outside.
Now Keller doesn't have to bunt. A high fly ball to anywhere in the outfield is going to score the winning run.
Well, the infield is in all the way around. 2 balls and no strikes. I'll be surprised if they don't put Keller on here. That's what they're going to do to load the bases up. 2 balls and no strikes. You need to get that force play because that run means nothing. What it does, however,
puts the pressure on Knudsen, who's been wild in this inning, to throw strikes to Barry Blackwell.
Knudsen has been all over the place in this inning. And you got to wonder if Ron Frazier and Brad Kelly aren't thinking about a change here. I don't see any sign of that, but Kelly's on the top step. Kelly's going to make the change here. It's going to be a double change. Let's see. We may get the extra infield routine again. They'll probably go to 2 outfielders and bring in an extra infielder right here. Fiore will come in from left field.
Sparkman will be the additional infielder.
Darryl Sparkman comes out of the dugout. Now they're going to position 5 infielders around, and they're going to play with only 2 outfielders. The bases are loaded. The only run that means anything is the one at third base. That's your winning run. Nobody out. Barry Blackwell, the best hitter in the Florida State lineup, is at the plate, and you got to figure he's licking his chops. You can see where they position the infielders. They're going to put 3 infielders on the third base side.
Now Frazier's walking out.
Going to make the change right here.
Ronnie Frazier's going to hook Knudsen and bring in a reliever.
Joe Gray is going to come into the ball game, Gene. Can you believe that?
Saw 11 innings of Joe Gray on Friday night. He pitched a dandy for the Hurricanes. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a tie ball game at 5-5. The Seminoles have the bases full. And by agreement by both managers, both coaches, this is the final inning of the game. And the Hurricanes are in a jam. Dave Reed, you got the inside story down there. Go ahead.
Gene, I tell you, you talk about deja vu. If you remember, just about a year ago today, we were in the 12th inning, or really the 11th inning. It was all tied. Ron Frazier did this exact same thing. He put 5 infielders in. Florida State had the bases loaded, and the 9th, 10th, and 11th did not get a run across. And we went to the 12th inning, and Ron Frazier said, "We've got to leave. Our plane leaves." And Mike Martin convinced him to play the last inning. And it turned out to be that Miami won the ball game in the last inning with a home run off of Doug DeCock. Now the situation's reversed. Florida State, with the bases loaded, they have the opportunity to put it in the win. They didn't do it last year. Let's see what happens.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much. The place is up for grabs. Everybody's standing at Dick Howser Stadium. You can see how wide open the outfield is. That's your shot from center field. Now they have...
John Vieira has moved over to left, and Ray Noriega is in right center field. So the view from the center field camera a little misleading. You see him now from this angle.
There's your infielders. There's 3 on the third base side, including a left-hander who's playing third base. You don't see that very often. Now let's see. Mike Martin's out there now. What's he trying to say?
Maybe out there counting guys in Hurricane uniforms. There are 9 of them, Mike. Just double check myself.
Henry Hernandez.
Now another change.
Oh, I see what it was. They moved Hernandez from first base to third, and Mike Martin says you can't play third base with a first baseman's mitt. So they had to give him a regular glove over there at third base, I believe. Now we're about ready to go.
And Word is at first base.
Henry Hernandez is a left-handed thrower, and he's playing at third. 5 infielders. The place is going crazy. The Seminoles need just 1 run to win it. Nobody out. The pitch to Blackwell almost hit him. Joe Gray almost nailed him, and that would have been the winning run right there. It's 1-0.
Everybody standing at Dick Howser Stadium.
Curveball is high to Blackwell. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, in fairness to Gray, it's a tough situation. He really didn't get much of a warm-up down there.
No, he didn't. He, in fact, did not even throw on the mound in the bullpen. Shot. It is a foul ball by third.
That nearly hit Ronan in the belly.
2 balls and 1 strike. What a series. What a game this has been.
Tell you what, Wayne, had that been a fair ball and Ronan had been in fair territory, he'd have been hit, he'd have been out. And then a double play would have erased the Seminole potential winning run situation here on the bottom of the 8th.
2 balls, 1 strike to Blackwell. Gray delivers. Curveball. Ball 3. Didn't miss by much.
Jose Trujillo, the second baseman, had a pretty good view of it. He shrugs his shoulders and raises his hand, says, what was wrong with that, Blue? Pretty good looking pitch.
Hirsch is moving his infielders all around, and now we're doing a 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Bounce right to the shortstop. He'll go home for 1. The relay is high, safe at first base, but the game goes on. Bases are still going to be loaded with 1 out. Holy moly, the Hurricanes almost got a double play out of that.
Well, they'll keep the same infield look, I think. The base is still full of Seminoles. The throw from Hirsch pulled Word off the bag. And the runner was safe at first. Blackwell.
That was Robles that made that play. Anderson is the guy standing just to the left of Robles. Now they're going to reinsert their outfielder. They'll take Darryl Sparkman, rather, out of the ball game, and they put the outfielder back in there. That's Steve Tucker, a pitcher that's gone into play right field. Boy, you talk about a Chinese fire drill here. This is musical chairs. Now they're switching gloves. Word will go back to third. Hernandez goes back to first. The batter is going to be Brad Parker. He was 0 for 5 against Joe Gray the other night. The Hurricanes are going to take their chances on a possible double play ball up the middle. They back their shortstop and second baseman up. The first and third basemen are standing in close so they can come to the plate. Bases loaded.
Parker's hit it well today for the Seminoles, but right at outfielders.
Swing and a miss by Parker. 0-1. Boy, now you don't think Mike Martin's starting to have deja vu. He's thinking to himself, I'm sure, no way they can pull this again and not let us get a run.
Parker went 0 for 5 against Joe Gray Friday night.
Checked his swing, and it's ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, Joe, I was going to say, Joe Gray struck out 13 Seminoles Friday night.
He threw 140 pitches. Blackwell had him 3-1 and then grounded one right to Robles on the edge of the infield grass. Alisei is at third. He represents the winning run. Bouncer to first. Now they come home. That's one. That's going to be all they get. But they're about to get out of this thing, and this game could end up in a tie. 2 outs, bases still loaded, and it's going to be up to Donnie Erickson. Can you believe it? Three to 2 on the putout. Second out of the inning. Now Keller becomes the winning run at third base, and 2 outs at Donnie Erickson at the plate.
I don't know if I want this one to end, Wayne.
0 for 5 Erickson was against Gray. He tried to bunt that ball and didn't get it down, and he's mad at himself because he thinks he could have probably beaten it out if he had gotten the bunt down. No balls and a strike.
Keller at third, Blackwell at second, and Brad Parker at first. Joe Gray trying to get the Seminoles out.
Donnie Erickson, 0 for 3 in this game. He was 0 for 5 against Gray Friday night. Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Gray is 1 strike away from pulling a virtual miracle here. Bases loaded, nobody out. 5 infielders and only 2 outfielders. 2 ground balls later, here we are. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Struck him out. This game is going to end in a tie.
5-5, and Dean Harrison's 3-run double just an inning ago was the tying hit. And the Seminoles get the bases full with nobody out and cannot get a run across in the bottom of the 8th inning. And by agreement by both coaches, the 8th inning was going to be the final inning. So we ended a 5-5 tie. Hits even at 8-8. The Hurricanes committed 4 errors. The Seminoles won. That's it. You don't see many ties in college baseball.
Oh, the Seminoles load the bases. 3 walks. The last batter up was Donnie Erickson. He had a chance maybe to do something with 2 outs. A great curveball by Joe Gray. His mastery continues from Friday night, and the game ends in a tie. For Mike Martin, it's his 3rd in a 9-year career at Florida State. For Ron Fraser, it's tie number 9, and it's a 5-5 finish in this ball game. Seminoles load them up in the bottom of the 8th. But the run cannot get across the plate, and Dave Reed is standing by down by the third base box with Coach Mike Martin, who's got to be really having deja vu right now looking back at last year as they managed to dodge that bullet again. Dave, you and Mike got it.
Mike,